hello people. Right, so I did do a quick test. Sorry I haven't done a video for a little while. I haven't been very well and I'm still not feeling great now, but the worst has passed. So I did plug my soundbar into this. Yes, the eARC does work. Yes, you can control the volume on the soundbar on your, on your Sky remote and vice versa. So if you turn it up on the remote control for the soundbar, it goes up on the TV, you know, so it controls it that way. However, when putting the, I put it in pass-through and I tried it in automatic, the eARC still seems to be as crap as it is on the Gen 1 when it comes to sound quality. Because I found when you change sort of movie settings on the actual soundbar, it sounds really weird and crackly and it just doesn't sound right and doesn't sound nice. And this is a Dolby Atmos soundbar. I might have kept it on, but I still can't get the subwoofer for the soundbar to work. It's quite a well-known fact that it's an LG soundbar. They do have issues with the subwoofers where the power supply just sort of goes out and stops working. I mean, that soundbar is probably about 3 or 4 years old now. It's a little bit older than my Gen 1, I think, or did I have the... I can't remember if I had the Gen 1. No, I had the Gen... It's a bit younger than the Gen 1, about 2 years old, I would say. Maybe a little bit older than 2 years old. It's about the same age as the Gen 1, we'll go with that. And I'm lucky for it to have lasted as long as it did, looking at the comments that people have said about them, where literally a couple of months old and stuff like that. But it's out of its warranty. I can't do anything about it. To be honest, the sound from the Gen 2 sounds better than the soundbar, even if the subwoofer was working. I don't know if that's due to the sound of the eARC, because the eARC doesn't sound right when you shift it out of normal mode into like a movie mode or a music mode. It doesn't sound right. It sounds, I don't know, it's lacking depth. It just sounds plasticky, and I know this soundbar doesn't sound plasticky. Actually, I think it is older, because I think I had it on my LG TV. Pretty sure I did, and it used to work absolutely perfectly through there. There was no issues with sound and stuff, so... yeah, but to confirm, it does work through eARC. I've had Sony work through the Gen 1 absolutely fine, so I'm guessing the Gen 2 will be that as well. I'm probably going to look for a Sony proper theatre amp, none of the sound bars and stuff, because they just don't have the sound stage. Even if you've got the speakers behind, you haven't got the ones spread out in front and the centre one in the centre. You've just got what it just doesn't sound as good as a 7.1, even a 5.1 setup. So if you don't like what I'm saying, I don't care. No, don't care. Don't care. Oh, sound bars are the greatest thing. They're not. They're just gimmicky little things that you really only get if your TV sounds crap, and this then makes your TV sound nice without having speakers behind you. Dolby Atmos without speakers behind you, nah. It's like the old days with the Dolby Digital, and you have 3.1 where you have the speakers at the front, 3 speakers at the front, and the virtual surround and all that sort of stuff. Doesn't really work. You might get the odd instance where you can sort of hear something behind you, which you do get with this TV very occasionally, but not a lot. And it's not due to my room, because it's a pretty square room. I know I do have lights and stuff up for obviously YouTube, which I haven't got turned on at the moment, so it's probably going to look crap, this video. I just realised that. But before I didn't have all this up, so... and it sounded the same. And when I've got proper 5.1 Dolby surround in here, like with my THX Lucasfilm speakers that I do still have, but some of the drivers need replacing because the cones have sort of disintegrated. But that would be, there's going to be something I'm going to do at some point, and maybe I'll do a video on me repairing those. That would be quite a cool little video. But that sounded absolutely awesome. I had no problems with that whatsoever. I mean, the bass bins, they're 12-inch bass bins on those, and there's 2 of them. and they sound absolutely gorgeous. You don't have to have a digital sound for it to sound nice. An analog THX sort of sound sounds beautiful. You won't understand until you hear it. It's not always digital sound that sounds absolutely fantastic, and an analog sound can sound a lot better and a lot richer. So yes, the eARC does work. I know it works on Sony. I know some Sonos people have had issues with it, and I have issues with it with LG, so it might not work for you, but I know I didn't really have any issues with it when using a Sony device with eARC. It wasn't even an up-to-date eARC system. It's quite an old sort of HDMI. I don't even think it was HDMI, you know, the latest one. I wouldn't have thought it was, and that worked absolutely fine on that. But it seems to be an issue with LG, and I know people have had issues with Sonos, so it's still rather hit and miss out there for the eARC on the Gen 2, but it does work. You can control. But Sky release apps, so then people can use their mobile phones as remote controls, or all-in-one remote controls, or even get Alexa skill in there somehow, because it's really lacking that. Every other TV, pretty much any other smart TV will have Chrome, Alexa, cancel built in. I know I've got Apple AirPlay, and yes, you can get it on other TVs, like that other person did correct me. But if you go on the Apple website, it gives you a list of the TVs that support it, that are supported native Apple AirPlay, not Apple TV. It's a different thing. And they do tend to be the higher spec ones, so the ones that are going to cost you a little bit more money. I know a lot of people are saying, oh no, it's in my base end one. It's probably not. It's probably just Apple TV. And if I am wrong, I apologise. You know, it's no biggie. It's no biggie at all. But it does seem to be in the higher end. There's a lot of Sony TVs that have got it built in. The other Samsung and LG don't have. There's not as many models that the AirPlay is built in. So I don't really care. It doesn't matter. It's built in on this. It works all right on this. It's not a problem. But we need some Alexa integration. You need an Alexa app. I mean, it doesn't even need to have that in there. It just needs to have some kind of skill on the Alexa store, so then we can turn it off and on with everything else that we own. So then when we say the Alexa word, or the Hey Google, or everything off, it turns everything off, or good night, it turns your telly off at the same time, rather than have to dishing out more than one command to different devices, because that's really annoying. Anyway, rant mode off, and any of you trollers and stuff, just jog on. I haven't got time for you. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care. You're going to say, oh, get yourself an OLED. I don't care. This works for me. This works for a lot of people, and I'm quite happy with this. Yes, I did speak to Sky, and I said to them, I'm going to monitor the darkening area at the bottom, which doesn't actually seem to be there now. So I don't know if it's just something where the panel has needed to come alive once it's been turned on. I don't know, and it's really not anything noticeable down the side anymore. Corners, that seems to be fading and seems to be getting brighter. So I said that I'm going to monitor this. They're going to give me a call back in a month. I don't mind stuff like that. That's like me doing some testing and stuff for them. I don't mind doing that, and I'm doing it for you lot as well, so then we can get everything a-okay and perfect on the SKYGLASS Gen 2. And when they have a second version of SKYGLASS Gen 2, all these issues should be ironed out. Maybe for the SKYGLASS Air, what is these cats going to start fighting now? Anyway, I better go before I separate these two, because one just wants to be friendly and the other one's just scared of anything, so he sort of has a moan. So I'm going to go now. Have a lovely day. Thanks for watching. You know what to do, people. We're going to try and find this button. There it is, I think.